Okay. Fuller typed Kirk's name into the system and ran a check to see where he had last placed an online order. The answer shocked her. It had been 11 days since he had sent the request to the Domino's team. That had never happened before. Something must be wrong with their loyal customer. Or was the company at fault? Had the pizza company done something wrong? This was definitely out of character for Kirk. Sure, he was a quiet man, but this was not like him at all. Over the years, they had come to consider him as not only a loyal customer, but also a friend. Having placed so many orders with the team, they were genuinely concerned about Kirk's sudden lack of contact. But were they over worried? Was there a simple explanation for his absence? Had he simply found another pizza company? They would hate to think that they had lost him as a loyal customer because of something they had unknowingly done wrong. Sarah would like to think that if there had been a problem with an order, that Kirk would have mentioned it directly to them. Surely he hadn't grown bored of pizzas. The branch made a bold decision to take action, but they needed a volunteer. That's the headline. They were sure that he hadn't gotten sick of the sight of the taste of a pizza because they were very his order every so often. Sometimes he'd have a pasta dish or go for some wings. You know?
Right.
And on an odd occasion, he would choose to have a Domino's specialty sandwich. Try as they might, they kept coming back to the same conclusion. Something was wrong. They got the little Pizza Hut mobile, little mini car. Sarah and her team took it upon themselves to send a member of the staff over to Kirk's house to see if they might notice anything unusual. It fell to delivery driver Tracy Hamlin to make the journey. He was more than happy to take time out to check up on Kirk. Delivery driver heads out and makes a stunning discovery. Kirk had always polite and friendly to Tracy. Damn. Well, read your right. Friendly. So he didn't hesitate to volunteer. As he pulled up outside the house, there was a dreadful feeling in the pit of his stomach that he tried to push down. He got up his delivery van, headed to the front door, feeling slightly anxious. He was relieved to see that the lights were on. Surely, that was a good sign. Perhaps Kirk had simply been out of town for a while and had just returned. They got a picture of Tracy Ham, delivery driver. Tracy could clearly hear the sound of the television.
You got a screenshot of
during the interview.
Why you reading this? I'm gonna get your screenshot. How you
screenshot that? He wasn't answering the door, but there were lights on, and you could hear the TV playing. With their usually loyal customer answer either the door or his phone. Tracy Hamlin decided to take it one step further. After all, he had known Kirk for many years. And if this was all just one big misunderstanding, he was sure that Kirk would have appreciated the concern that the company was showing. So he knocked on the front door, hoping that Kirk would answer in his usual friendly manner. There was no immediate answer. So Tracy knocked again. Still nothing. He called Kirk's number, but it went straight to voicemail. Now there was a real concern. If Kirk was at home with the lights on and the TV playing, then surely he should have heard the knocking at the front door. Perhaps his phone was off or broken. But he should have been able to hear Tracy's first pounding on the door. The delivery driver raced back to the restaurant, trying to contact emergency service. Everyone at the branch was eager to hear what Tracy had to say. Knowing that Kirk was definitely home, but not answering the door brought up more concerns and relief. They decided to call him again. Jared dialed his number and waited with bated breath.
You silly.
Yet again, it didn't even ring. It was going straight through to voicemail instead. The worry manager tried again, but the same thing happened. Things were starting to get serious. and it was time to contact the authorities. They'd exhausted all options, so this was the only thing left to do. The call that would change everything. Sarah could see that her colleagues were worried about Kurt, and as the manager, it fell on her shoulders to make the final decision about what to do next. Everyone agreed with her when she said they should call 911. Again, Tracy Handler stepped up and volunteered to make the call. Yeah, Tracy, you man. Yeah, Tracy.
So funny.
As he had actually been to the house and may be able to answer some of their specific questions. They didn't want to waste police time, but collectively, they felt sure that Kurt was in trouble. Tracy was immediately connected to the operator and was asked to explain the emergency. He gave the details as timely as he could. This is Domino's Pizza. When we have a customer that usually orders like every night from us, and he had an order in 11 days.
Did you take your meds today? Did you take your meds today?
The operator put him straight through to Marion County Sheriff's Department. Hamlin had to go through everything. Again, with the officers at the end of the line saying that this customer usually ordered from them almost every single day.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they got the picture of the police car. He stressed that the order hadn't come through for 11 days, and everyone at the branch was extremely concerned about the large customer. The delivery driver explained that he had driven to Kurt's house and had heard the television playing and had seen all the lights on. And he then mentioned that the persistent knocks and calls that had gone unanswered. There was nothing the team could do now. It was out of their hands. Tracy could tell that the Marion County Sheriff's Department was taking every word he said seriously.
Oh, wow.
But didn't think for 1 minute that he was wasting their time or being overly cautious. In their minds, there was genuine cause for concern, and they would need to investigate it immediately. Now they got a picture of the worry staff. Oh man, what happened? Oh man, yeah, no, I took the thing. Okay, they got a picture of the staff looking all concerned and everything. Okay, as soon as he hung up the call, he repeated everything that the authorities had said to him, so that the rest of the team knew what had been said. He was relieved to tell his colleagues that some deputies would be able to Kurt's house to check on him. They had the authority to enter the premises if they had felt that Kurt was in any danger. All the staff could do now was be patient and let the deputies do their job. It would be an agonizing wait. Would the sheriff's department have more luck with locating Kurt? The sheriff sent officers to Kurt's home. When the trained deputies walked up to the front door, not knowing what they were about to face, they were used to dealing with stressful situations. But the fear of the unknown always sat uneasily in the pit of their stomachs on calls like this. They showing another picture of Kurt.
Send me the screenshot.
They're not loudly on the door. They called out for Mr. Alexander to open up. Just as before, when Tracy Hamlin had not, there was no answer. They raised their voice and beat loudly on the door. Mr. Alexander, open up, it's police! But still, Kurt did not appear. Suddenly, there was a major breakthrough. Just as the deputies were about to force the door open, one of them heard a faint voice coming from the inside the house. A man was calling out for help, but his voice was incredibly weak. Help! Upon hearing a cry for help, they broke down the door right to the house.
Love Mr. Chop. I'm going to do shit up here.
Turn in there, y'all. Oh my God, they got the door. Kurt was lying on the floor, calling for the men to get him as quickly as possible. They quickly called for the paramedics. Luckily for Kurt, the ambulance was only minutes away. Yes! Oh my God! Yes! The ambulance only minutes away. And it arrived on the scene with sirens blaring. Woo! 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 All the neighbors rushed outside. All the neighbors rushed outside to see what the common...
You gonna pause for a second. This is what we're gonna do for you. We're gonna get you your own YouTube channel where you're gonna read books or whatever, children's books, adult books, whatever books, or these little stories, and you can do all that after. People can come to you, listen to you when they had a drink or whatever, need to be
Okay. Come on, this is a good part. All the neighbors rushed outside to see what the commotion was. They were shocked to see an ambulance pull up outside Kurt's house. Were they too late to save him?
Mm-hmm.
The highly trained paramedic team rushed into the house to assist Kurt. After their initial assessment, they could tell that man was in need of immediate medical attention. They carefully placed Kurt onto a stretcher and headed, ain't no stretchers, a gurney, and headed to the hospital. According to later reports, Kurt had suffered from minor strokes in the past, and it appeared that he had another one. They show him a picture of the Falk ambulance. Falck. That's crazy. Dang. Hey, man. Hey. Call the Falk ambulance, man. Call the Falk. Man. The Falk. What's wrong with you? It was clear that the time. It was clear that the time was the essence. And Kurt was in a frail condition. If he had been left unattended just a few hours longer, the deputies and ambulance crew might have found him dead. Oh, my God. Would the ambulance get to the hospital in time? No one can tell how long ago he had the stroke, but he was in an extremely bad way. The paramedics had been able to stabilize him at the scene, but every minute counted. The ambulance got Kurt to the hospital in a matter of minutes, and he was rushed to the emergency department for urgent medical attention. They showing a picture of one of the dang-on delivery drivers. She looked like an Oompa Loompa. The doctors and the nurses worked frantically to save Kurt's life. It was clear that he was dehydrated and had been on the floor for a long time. Luckily, he was conscious and could answer some basic questions. He was in good hands, but he was very weak. The medical team did all they could to save his life. No one at the Domino's restaurant had any idea just how serious this was and how critical their intervention had been. They were all just waiting to hear feedback from the sheriff and his deputies. It was a worrying time for all of them. Finally, the Domino's team hears about Kurt's condition. Luckily, Kurt had been found in the nick of time. After a few tense hours of monitoring his condition, it was clear that he was going to pull through. Oh, my God. And make a full recovery. Oh, yes, Lord, thank you. Once the news had filtered back to the staff at Domino's, everyone there was overjoyed to hear that Kurt was going to be okay. They were all so relieved. Yeah!
He's so crazy.
Kurt will be okay. Yeah! That's what I thought about you. Yeah!
You can never say, I got a psychological problem again ever in your life, okay?
Manager Sarah Fuller said, "We're like a family here, and we were glad we were able to do something to help." Oh, my God. The team was eager to head to the hospital to see Kurt. The team was allowed to visit, but would Kurt be able to speak? The Domino staff spent their own money on cards and flowers for their loyal customers. As soon as they were permitted to visit, they headed to the hospital after their shift to show Kurt how much he was valued. They wanted him to know that they had all been worried about him when he stopped putting orders in. They out there doing they clapping. They got a picture of the staff and everything clapping. It's 2 Mexicans, 1 Latino, 2 Caucasians. You don't see no black people. Okay, but she got braids in her hair. She might be half black. Okay. But, it was important for him to realize that there were members of the community looking out for him and thinking of him. As one of the team said, they hoped that their visit would give him some much-needed strength and hopefully help him recover faster, knowing that people do care about him. They are shocked to see their customer looking so frail. It was very alarming seeing him on that first visit. He was frail and weak and had trouble speaking to those that visited. He didn't have much energy to converse with them and could only manage yes or no answers to all their questions. The other staff members, they waving at the camera. They didn't want to overwhelm him, so the team kept their questions to as few as possible. They were eager to find out how he was feeling and when he would be allowed to go back home. From what they found out, Kurt would need to stay in the hospital for a while longer. and would need to spend some time in the rehabilitation.